this is Savannah Jones. Savannah Jones was 18 years old and attended Wilberforce University. She was a part of their band, the Sound Hounds, and she died April 30th by drinking herself to death, attempting to become a part of a social club called the Turtle Group, the Turtle Club. I have never heard of these turtle people ever before in my life. Hazing is not new. Hazing stories are not new, but this story, something about it doesn't seem right, doesn't feel right, doesn't sit right with me. She had to drink an entire bottle of liquor to gain access into this club, and that just seems like something we don't really hear about. We don't really do. We don't do that. Apparently it was a social club, it was a drinking club. In order to gain access and entry into the club, you had to drink the entire bottle of liquor without vomiting, without passing out, without getting sick. But guess what? She vomited, couldn't stand up straight, passed out, and instead of bringing her to the hospital, they carried her and brought her back to her dorm room and let her die.
From Toledo is suing after her death, which a lawsuit says followed a campus hazing ritual. The complaint alleges Savannah Jones died after an initiation called Turtle Crossing. That is, says required her to drink an entire bottle of liquor. The lawsuit was filed today in Greene County.
They send their kid off to college and they expect in 4 years their kid's going to come home with a degree and looking forward to the rest of their life. And instead they get a call that says their freshman daughter is no longer living.
The lawsuit filed by the estate of Savannah Jones says she was a freshman living on campus at Wilberforce University. It describes an alcohol-based initiation practice for a social club called the Turtles, or Turtle Club, with a ritual called crossing. And it alleges students trying to cross were required to drink an entire bottle of liquor while answering questions or riddles.
They're not even allowed to gain membership into the Turtles if they stop drinking, if they vomit, or if they're incapable of drinking. The sole admission into the Turtles is being able to drink a large amount of alcohol.
The lawsuit says the crossing happened the night of April 29th into the early morning hours of April 30th inside a dorm room at Henderson Hall, where RAs were present and with more than 10 students there.
This hazing ritual happened right under the noses of Wilberforce University. It was in a dormitory room in a residence hall.
Savannah Jones is a graduate of Scott High School. The complaint alleges Jones texted friends she was going to, quote, cross turtles, and that she was, quote, low-key scared. It alleges she quickly became severely intoxicated, vomited, and could not stand.
Savannah Jones had a very large amount of alcohol. She became deeply distressed, in deep trouble at some point, and instead of taking her to a hospital and getting her immediate medical attention, they took her back to her dorm room all the way across campus and left her to die.
The lawsuit alleges no resident assistant, resident life staff member, hall director, or campus safety officer stopped the gathering, despite the school's dry campus policies. The suit brings claims under Ohio's civil anti-hazing law and also alleges negligence and failures in supervision of campus housing. And while investigations continue, Elliott says there are key questions still unanswered.
When Savannah Jones was in deep trouble, and it was clear she was in deep trouble, what did people do? What took them so long? Why didn't they take her immediately to the hospital? Maybe her life could have been saved.